Mexico is a land full of bright colors and big differences. Its story is very old, its spirit is strong and bounces back. This country has faced really big problems through its long past. Yet, it has always found a way to keep going and to change in new ways. You can still see and feel its past very strongly today. This spirit that keeps going is a big part of what it means to be Mexican. It makes its people proud. Mexico's story shows how people can keep trying and not give up. The way Mexicans feel about their history is very deep. It's not just something you read about in books, it's a living part of who they are. This history is mixed into everyday life. People often say the Olmecs were like the mother culture of Mesoamerica. They started around 1400 BCE in the warm lowlands of south-central Mexico. The Olmecs made huge stone heads. These statues are famous because they are beautiful and a bit mysterious. They had special ways of thinking about gods, and made art in special styles. What they did helped shape many groups of people who came later. The Maya people did very well in southern Mexico and Central America. They were some of the smartest people of the olden days. The Maya made amazing discoveries in math. Gap 2S. By themselves, they came up with the idea of zero. They knew a lot about the stars and planets, and they were very exact. They made detailed calendars to keep track of time and things happening in the sky. The Maya also had a smart way of writing using special pictures called hieroglyphs. They built wonderful city-states. Palenque, Tikal, and Chichen Itza are some famous ones. The things they did in science and art were amazing. The Aztecs, who were also called the Mexica, were very strong. They came to the Valley of Mexico a bit later than others. In 1519, a new part of Mexico's story started. Hernán Cortés and a few Spanish ships landed on the shore. These men wanted to find gold, become famous, and spread their religion. Their arrival was a big shock to the native people living there. Moctezuma II, the strong Aztec leader, faced something he had never seen before. He had to decide what to do about these new people. The powerful Aztec Empire fell quickly. Tenochtitlan was taken over in 1521 after a very hard fight where the city was surrounded. The Spanish had better fighting tools like steel weapons, armor, and horses. Sicknesses brought by the Europeans like smallpox hurt the native people very badly. The native people's bodies couldn't fight off these new sicknesses. Very importantly, Cortés made friends with other native groups. With the fall of Tenochtitlan, Mexico became a place ruled by Spain. It was called New Spain. The Spanish made people use their language, their religion, and their ways of ruling. Scene 4. A country made in hard times, becoming free, and facing troubles. Criollos, born in Mexico to Spanish parents, wanted more control over their country. They opposed the Peninsulares, who held all the power. New ideas about freedom and self-rule spread, inspired by the American and French revolutions. Mestizos and natives were unhappy with economic and social inequalities. The call for independence began on September 16, 1810. Led by Miguel Hidalgo's Cry of Dolores, thousands joined him, starting a long war. After 11 years, Mexico became free in 1821. Agustín de Iturbide played a key role. He switched sides and helped form the Army of the Three Guarantees. Mexico was free but faced many early challenges. Scene 5. A new start with revolution, changing the country. In the late 1800s and early 1900s, a man named Porfirio Diaz was in charge for a long time. He ruled Mexico like a king for over 30 years. This time was called the Porfiriato. When he was leader, things were calm in government and the country made more money. Money from other countries came into Mexico. Train tracks were built, joining faraway places. Mines and factories did very well. However, all this good stuff came with big problems. Only a few rich people and people from other countries got most of the good things. Most Mexican people stayed very poor. The Mexican Revolution started with a bang in 1910. It was a long and bloody fight that lasted for about 10 years. Francisco de Madero, a rich man who owned land, said Diaz should not rule anymore. The fight spread quickly. Leaders who people liked came from different parts of the country. Each one wanted different things. Emiliano Zapata in the south fought very hard for fair land rules. He said, "Land and liberty, Gap 2S. Pancho Villa led a strong army of fighters in the north. It was a very mixed-up fight. People kept changing sides and the fighting was very hard. Scene 6 Mexico today, a bright mix of old and new. Today, Mexico is a country where people vote for their leaders. The country has many different groups in politics. This makes elections more exciting and gives people more choices. Mexico is an active player in global affairs. It's part of many world groups like the United Nations and the G20. Mexican culture makes people proud and is admired worldwide. It's a lively mix of old and new traditions. Mexican art, like murals by Diego Rivera and paintings by Frida Kahlo, is full of emotion and innovation. Mexico has a growing economy with many parts. Making cars is a very important part of this.